Right, welcome back to episode 3 of the ultimate free van build. Today we are tackling the ceiling, and that means one thing: Celotex, tons of it. Now, the secret to the perfect installation job is proper preparation. I've brought all the boards into the van, but look closely. I have set them on some timber batten bearers. Why? Because I like my circular saw blade exactly as it is, and cutting straight into the metal van floor is a brilliant way to ruin the day and your tools. First job of the day is going to be measuring the absolute widest point of the roof. We're looking at roughly 690 millimeters. But before a single blade touches the foam, the mask has to go on. Do not skip this. This stuff gets on your chest, and if you get it in your eyes, you'll be itching until next bloody Tuesday. Most people would tackle this with a blunt handsaw, hacking away like a caveman and leaving a right mess. Not here. We're ripping down the lengths with a circular saw for a perfectly clean edge. So with the bulk of the boards prepped, it's strategy time. Always start with the biggest panels first. Why, you might ask? Because the massive offcuts you get from the big pieces will perfectly manage all the smaller awkward gaps later on. It saves material, saves you money, and saves your sanity. Now, I am measuring up the exact dimensions for panel number 1. You can't just slap these in. It's just a game of millimeters. Inch by inch, cutting, checking, and refitting until it wedges in flawlessly. But here's the problem. Vans aren't flat. The roof has a slight arc to it. If you spray your adhesive and just hope for the best, then I'm afraid gravity will win and the board will drop. So here is a top tier trade trick just for you. I've cut 3 timber props, each one roughly about 20 millimeters longer than the actual height of the ceiling. So once I load up the back of the board with a serious amount of foam mega stick, I offer it up to the ceiling and kick the base of these timbers into the floor. Boom! It wedges the board up incredibly tight against the roof structure. Now, you might punch a couple of small holes in that foil while you're doing this, but don't panic. Once you've finished, we'll go over every single blemish with silver vapor tape and keep the system perfectly sealed. So for the next massive panel, I'm going to migrate outside of the back of the van just to get that little bit more working room. Now, this section is a proper challenge because we are fitting around the original factory skylight. Now remember, this beast used to be a minibus. We inherit a few quirky shapes. This means scribing. Now, because the skylight frame has a curved circular shape, you can't just cut a straight line. Now I'm going to be making a series of close relief scribe cuts, gently nibbing away at the foam till the radius perfectly matches. A bit of patience here makes all the difference. Once the dry fit is absolutely spot on, it's time for the glue, and loads of it. Smear it on the back of the board, wedge it up tight. Let me pause and stress just how critical this moment is. When you're living in a van, you boil the kettle, you cook your dinner. All that hot vapor travels straight up. If you don't have a flawless, airtight barrier between your warm living space and the freezing cold metal roof, it will condense and it will rain on your head inside the van. So get it right now or regret it later. So with the main panel structurally wedged in place, it's time to inspect the work. Even with accurate cutting, the van's metalwork leaves small, irregular gaps around the edges. Now we cannot leave these blank. Enter the expanding foam. Now we are going to be injecting foam into every single void around the perimeter. What this does is twofold. First, it expands. It locks the Celotex panels to the ceiling even tighter than before. Second, it completely obliterates any remaining air gaps ensuring no warm air can even touch the bare metalwork. So with the main sections curing, I can focus on the small, intrusive infill pieces around the remainder of the skylight. Now each piece is measured, cut, glued, wedged, and then completely sealed around the perimeter with expanding foam. So we fast forward to the very next morning. The adhesive and the foam has fully gone off, and let me tell you, these panels are absolutely solid. They aren't going anywhere. So as I'm knocking down these timber props, the customer pops out for a brew and a chat about the next phase, the floor. We're measuring up the vinyl finish. Now my advice to him is absolute. Go heavy duty, industrial grade vinyl. It needs to be incredibly high strength, so when the tools, boots or gear inevitably gets dropped on it, it takes the knock and keeps looking pristine. We'll be fully gluing it down when the time comes. Now, while we was chatting, I committed a cardinal sight sin. I was wandering around walking in sandals. Absolutely foolish. And predictable as anything, I managed to step on a sharp metal shaving left over the metalwork. Left over from the metalwork. Safe to say, that hurt a lot. Instant regret. Wear your boots, folks. Learn from my pain. So with my boots back on, I finished off the very last small piece of Celotex in the corner, wedging it with 3 small timber props. Now the roof insulation is officially 100% complete. To finish it off cleanly, I go around one final time with expanding foam, filling any microscopic gaps left at the absolute edges to create that seamless thermal envelope. Now looking ahead to the next few days of this build, things are about to get busy. We'll be starting on the floor, insulating it and putting down the timber framing structures for the walls. But while inspecting the walls for tomorrow's work, I spotted a major annoyance. These factory metal prongs sticking out of the van structure right where I needed to mount my flat timber battens. Now, I could spend hours scribing, notching the timber around these brackets, or I could use a grinder. Much better idea. So I fired up the angle grinder, took them right off, leaving the metalwork perfectly flush so our framing can sit dead straight. And that is the massive day's work done. The YouTube algorithm seems to think you'll absolutely love one of these videos popping up on your screen right now. So give it a watch. Thanks for your support. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on the next video.